With Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom coming out soon, we thought it was time to stop and take a look at all the Zelda games over the years and decide which are the best and which are the rest.
The rest.
In the basement. It's a tier list with a twist. There's two of us.
And I will say, we happen to know a lot about the subject matter, being that we played pretty much every Zelda game.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to jump right into this tier list, and we're going to start, we'll just kind of jump around. I don't think we'll necessarily go, but we are going to end with where we think The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is going to fall.
That's right. If you want to know our pre-prediction of the ranking of Echoes of Wisdom, stick around till the end. Okay.
Let's start with some obvious things right away. I mean, we don't want to just put everything in S tier.
No.
But what would you say Ocarina of Time is?
A. So Ocarina of Time, the deal with that game is it was S tier before the GameCube came out.
That's true.
And it's aged well, but not as well as some games age.
No, I think that's really good. I'm also going to go out there and say that a lot of people would agree that A Link to the Past should also be A tier.
I would say Link to the Past has aged a little better than Ocarina of Time. A lot of people would put that in S tier, maybe one of the best Zelda games of all time.
That's true. And I think Link's Awakening is really good. We just talk about the music.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But I'm going to go ahead and we'll just say C tier for now.
It's a very simple game. Average. I mean, it was like their Game Boy Zelda.
Okay, how about a couple F tiers?
Okay.
Pretty easy to guess these. I'm going to right away. I've been playing this on some streams. Zelda's Adventure is the worst.
Yeah.
It is the worst. It's
if we had a double F tier, it'd go there.
Yeah, it's nigh unplayable. I mean, it's so bad that it like creates its own F tier, its own tier. I would even put Wand of Gamelon above it. That's how bad Zelda's Adventure is.
Okay, noted.
Now let's talk about some that people would probably consider S tier. I mean, Breath of the Wild. Most people would say Breath of the Wild changed the game for Zelda and really made it S tier.
I would have a hard time not putting it in S tier.
Yep, I agree. I agree with that. Okay, Tears of the Kingdom. Beastman, one of our community members, would put it at like F tier. He's sticking to his guns a little too strong.
Yeah,
I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
I would put it in, I think if Breath of the Wild goes in S tier, Tears of the Kingdom does too, because while it stood on the shoulders of Breath of the Wild, it also is very much its own game.
I
would a lot of things better.
I would say A tier for Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
Just Breath of the Wild was such a new thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is kind of like hovering between these two.
All right. Well, put it in A.
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess.
We're about to make some people mad, I think, if we don't put it in A.
No, it doesn't go in A.
I think it's B.
Yeah, I think it's B too. It's a little clunky. It did not quite age as well either. The tutorial is so long, and it feels stiff compared to Breath of the Wild. I can't put it any higher than B.
Yeah, I would say Majora's Mask for that reason probably goes into the C category.
I wouldn't put it above C. It's
now,
just a lot of backtracking.
Link's Awakening, the cute version versus the original version, I think this goes up to B.
Yep.
Because it's so beautiful and the music is so
They did a really nice job with it.
So, I mean, partially you got to weigh these things based on how new and old they were, too. Because there is going to be a certain amount of polish.
Okay, Adventure of Link.
Oh, boy.
See, now they tried something new, and the combat works really well when you learn it. Mm-hmm. But boy, it's hard, and like
the enemies are not like they're pretty. There's a lot of randomness that goes on.
And it's a little unfair with how far.
This is the reason why Zelda's Adventure is so terrible. Is because everything is like really random, and there's no AI to the enemies.
Yeah,
they just move around totally haphazardly.
So with Zelda 2, I think it kind of splits the fan base because some of it, like the music, is really good, and when you learn the combat and you get decent at it, that's really rewarding.
Yeah, I'm going to put it at
just
D.
too many problems. I think D too.
All right, people are wanting to know where Peter would put the original Legend of Zelda.
I mean, if we're going to put Breath of the Wild in S tier for what it did, I think we have to put this in S tier for what it did.
I'm going to agree with you, dude.
Yeah, it's amazing. You could improve it right now, for sure, and people have, but my goodness, when that game came out, there was nothing like it.
That's true. Okay, how about Skyward Sword?
Ooh, C or D? I think C.
I think C also. Story-wise, it made up for a lot of the shortcomings.
I think the story's good. I think the dungeons are well designed. I actually really liked the art style. So remember, Wind Waker was too childish for everyone after they saw a GameCube demo of what Zelda could be. And then Twilight Princess was their answer. Here's our dark, gritty adult Zelda that you all wanted. And then they found this really nice, like, cell shade mixture of not too kiddie and not too dark or real that kind of split the difference between those two and laid a foundation for the art style of Breath of the Wild. So I really appreciate Skyward Sword for that reason. But man, the motion controls.
Yeah. I mean,
terrible.
The Skyward Sword remake still
fixes some of that.
It fixes some of that, but I think it still keeps it at C tier. Like, it doesn't bump it up to B.
No, it's at the top of the C tier instead of the bottom of the C tier.
Wind Waker, baby.
Ooh, see, I like Wind Waker a lot.
I'm putting it in A.
I would vote A.
It's right up there. You know what's interesting about this? I'm realizing, I mean, these games, they had the mechanic where you had to, like, unlock the next thing and the dungeons and all that stuff, where everything was, like, unlockable by getting a new magic item.
Right.
This game, I think perfectly, like the original Legend of Zelda, I think perfectly had some of that and didn't have some of that.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild, it was amazing and new, but it didn't have any locks other than just your skill level.
Right.
Keeping you from
You
going
could go straight to Ganon's castle.
Yeah,
but the story, the sister, and Tetra.
Right, you get
and
all
the
of that
adventure of
happens.
leaving home and going through the rite of passage and growing up.
Yeah.
And just like the time you spend on the ocean between things. I loved it. And there was like, you never knew when a storm was going to hit or a boss was going to pop up or whatever.
Yeah.
Wind Waker's, man.
I'm going to put...
top 3 Zelda
you
game
haven't
for me.
played Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons.
Correct.
But I'm going to put them below Link's Awakening.
Okay.
They're going to go on the same level as the Game Boy Link's Awakening because they're for the Game Boy, but they're below this remake of Link's Awakening. Okay, we only got a few more that we're going to actually talk about here. Link's Crossbow Training. I'm kidding. I haven't played that game. We, at some point, need to play Triforce Heroes and Four Swords Adventures, but we never played those, so we're going to abstain from ranking them.
Yeah. We could do Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Mm-hmm. I would put...
I'd put Hyrule Warriors...
as a Zelda game?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say...
D?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Age of Calamity, I'm going to put it at B.
Yes. I agree with this. Maybe C, but B is fine because there's a lot in C right now.
This was great because it actually had...
cutscenes in the story.
And they had some canon stuff going on. It had story... Hyrule Warriors had story, but it was obviously not canon, and they brought in lots of like ancillary characters in weird ways that made it just not feel like it mattered.
Yeah.
But Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity did feel like it mattered. So I loved that. I am going to go ahead and put Cadence of Hyrule on this.
Okay.
Because this game is awesome and a lot of fun. I'm going to put it at C tier. Even though it's not really a Zelda game, it still kind of is.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it at C tier. It's on the same level, I think, as Majora's Mask. Okay, we've got A Link Between Worlds, which you have not played.
I have not played. I've heard it's amazing.
I'm going to put this one at...
B?
It's so good. It's so good, Peter. I think I put it at A.
Whoa.
I don't know. It's hard to say that it's the same as Twilight Princess, even. It's better.
I gotta play it sometime.
Yes, you do, dude. You really do. Okay, we only got a couple, one or two more main lines. Let's make sure we didn't miss any really important ones that we haven't.
Yeah,
that we have
there are
played.
some like remakes and stuff here, and we're kind of boiling those into our rankings, like Wind Waker / Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess / Twilight Princess
Phantom
HD.
Hourglass. Where is that guy? Did you play Phantom Hourglass? Okay. Phantom Hourglass is like a direct sequel to Wind Waker. I'm surprised you haven't played it.
It's on a handheld system.
Oh, that's right. It's on a system that you didn't own. I liked it, but there were things about it that I didn't like. I'd say it's C.
And is Spirit Tracks worse?
I've never played Spirit Tracks,
Okay.
but I've heard from people that it is worse. So look at the games that we haven't played. There aren't very many left between the two of us.
Right.
The only one left to rank is where do we think Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom is going to fall?
So I'm guessing it's gonna look like the Link's Awakening HD. I mean, we've seen It's going to look and feel like that.
Yep.
But it's not a remake. It's new. You get to play as Zelda. There's creativity involved as far as like puzzle solving.
Being able to play as Zelda does automatically make it a little bit better because it's so different and new. But if the past is any indication, down here is where both of the play as Zelda games are.
Right, unfortunately. Yeah, and they did this a little with Princess Peach too. It's like the lowest tier Mario game. I want to be optimistic, but I think B is about the ceiling. It could be better than Link's Awakening. But there's risk there too.
With the different gameplay mechanics, that scares me a little bit. Like,
there's
I do like swinging my sword.
There's not much combat.
There is combat,
yeah,
but it's not, I mean...
limited time.
I bet it's gonna be a high B.
I'm a little nervous it's gonna
be better than Hyrule Warriors. I think it might be better than the Link's Awakening remake.
I'm nervous. I think it might be a D. It might just not go at all.
You think it's just not going to go?
People are just going to slap down beds and use them as staircases, and like there'll be like 1 or 2 or 3 solutions to 95% of problems, and people won't be creative. They'll just take the shortest path.
Easiest route.
Which is what devs need to... Listen, people aren't interested in playing the game the way you are imagining. They're interested in playing the game the way they want to.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see, though, too, like how they make that not just too overpowered. Like, do they have, maybe you can only lay 3 things at a time until you get an ability that makes you be able to lay 4, right? Because that could change things. You can't stack 3 tables if you can only lay 1 table. So I'm wondering if that's like one of the upgrades that you get with Tri-Rock, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Could be. What do you think the game's going to be like? Ted's hoping for B. I'm concerned about D. What do you think? If you didn't know, we've actually played Twilight Princess HD right here on the channel. It's a bit of an older playlist, but it's a fun one and a good one. It's on the screen right now. Click on that. We'll meet you over there.
In the basement.